The weekend, how was the weekend been? Umekuwa mzuri?
Nilikuwa tu mpole mtakatifu. Yes.
Ukifanya mambo yako.
Ukigonga kazi, chapa kazi, chapa wera.
Ulichapa wera?
Yes.
Mbona sijasikia ukisema ulichapa nini? Ulikula injili. Ujakula injili weekend ndivyo?
Sieta injili. Sieta injili ni kazi. Ni kazi.
Injili pia ni kazi.
Ni kazi.
Kazi yako makazi Ezekiel.
Ya Mungu. Umetumwa na Mungu kufanya kazi.
Kufanya kazi ya Mungu.
Yes.
Sasa Georges, kuna kitu ambayo nilichukulia let's say it really captured my mind when we were going through the elections of 2022 with one William Samuel Ruto, now our president. And I saw him in an interview, and William Samuel Ruto, our president, now said, he was asked by by the media guy, hey, do you know that there's never been a vice president who tried to run for office for the first time and won it? And our president said, there is a fast to everything. Unaona? Akaso wewe William Samuel Ruto, unajua kwamba wewe ile kitu unajaribu
haijaitendeka,
kigumu sana. But he was so focused and he was so sure ile kitu anafanya. Akasema kuna mwanzo kwa kila jambo na hii itakuwa mwanzo. And sure enough, our president William Samuel Ruto, he made it, he made it, he won, he became the duly elected president, and he's now running the country. Now that leaves me with one thing in mind, and I was reading this beautiful quote, and it says, never underestimate the power of thought. It is the greatest path to discovery. Hiyo inatokana na just a normal quote.
Yes.
But again, there is another one here ambayo inasema hivi. Inasema haje? Inasema for to set the mind on the flesh is death, but to set the mind on the spirit is life and peace.
Yes.
Hiyo sasa ni Biblia ambayo inaendelea inasema hivi, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect.
Yes.
Yani inamaanisha kwamba akili yako iko na uwezo kubwa sana. According to what I'm getting is that your mind is very powerful, that it can actually determine pale huko, pale unaenda na pale utakuwa. Sasa yes. Mimi najua ndio tunatumia akili.
Akili ni mali. Ama akili ni nywele.
Akili ni nywele. Mtu ana akili yake. Hata vipara ana akili.
Unajua kipara hana nywele.
Ndio.
Kwa hivyo hana akili.
Hana akili. Na kama akona imepimwa sana
ni kidogo.
So this mind, can you just double tuchanue. Unajua there's a viewers at home. Wale ambao bado hawajajua kutumia akili. Wewe kama mtu Sanyojes, kuna mtu ambaye anajua kutumia akili kawaida. Lakini kile kitu tunatafuta ni the extraordinary thinkers. Not just thinking.
Yes.
The power of the mind. Sanyojes, hebu tupe mtazamo wako hapa.
Mind, what is mind?
Yes.
Mind ni kama consciousness ya mtu. Yani ni kama sasa umetumia, unaona wanyama na watu tofauti yao ni kwamba wote wako na akili. They have the brain. Yeah? But there is a difference between the mind and the brain. Kwamba brains, kama it's not put to work, ama make conscious decisions, then ni mind tu, ni akili tu, ni brain tu. Naona? So our minds is our biggest weapon.
Yes.
In fact, our failures depends with how we use our brains.
Yes.
Most of the time huwa tunaanguka mitihani yetu Kwa sababu hatujatumia akili. Tumelalisha akili.
Akili
imekaa tu. Kama ya ng'ombe.
Kuna kitu
kama ya mbuzi.
Guys, have you gotten to understand what Sajuni is telling us? We have the brain. Nyumba.
The gray matter. Unaona?
Hiyo ni brain.
Yes, ni brain. Lakini sasa consciousness ya hiyo brain ndio inaitangwa akili.
Ndio mind.
Yes.
Akili ni mind.
Being able to make a decision with the brains. You see the brains, by the way, nilikuwa naangalia another nini walikuwa nasema the most complicated things in life all over the world, in the universe, there are 3 things, and they are created the same. Number 1 is the mind. So complicated. What wanasema it's like a billion, it's made of billion neurons.
The mind.
Yes. And each neuron is connected to 10,000 neurons. In other words,
the mind is made up of
over a billion neurons.
A billion neurons.
Yes.
There's someone who's probably wondering what is a neuron.
A neuron.
Sijui kama unaweza kueleza kwa lugha ya ama kwa lugha, unajua mimi najua wewe si mwanasayansi. Ni kama wire. Yes. You know, connection ya one neuron to another. Yes.
Ama connection ya zile wire. Unaona what makes ni kama nini inafanya stima ziwake? Si ni ile wire.
Yes.
So hiyo connection, hizo mawire, they are over 1 billion in the brain. And each neuron, now that each wire imeconnectiwa na 10,000 of them. So in other words, ziko interwoven. Zimeshikana. Hauwezi separate. Unaweza kata kamoja hivi katwe pande ya left, uparalyze pande ya right. Because hazijulikani zinaenda.
Zinamea.
Unazaliwa nazo, then they start vile unaenlarge, zinaendelea
kupanuka.
Yes.
Lakini si eti kama vile nasikianga tuseme when you slice your hand with a knife, inamea tena. It's not like that. That ikikatwa kinaweza kumea tena.
You see, zile ni wire. Wire ikikatwa iwezi endelea kumea, si imekatika. Because it's that interconnectivity. Hiyo connect one another.
Yes.
So these are wire. Ni kama vitu ya kupeleka ujumbe yani. Kama barabara.
Yes.
Ukikata barabara iwezi mea, isn't it? So ile si fresh. Ile ni kama nerves, you know.
Yes.
So hizo neuron, hiyo ni explain na Kimeru naeza ama Kiswahili. But so hizo sasa they are over 1 billion. Now
kwa hii Mungu yangu.
Yes. So kila one of them is connected to over 10,000. So you understand sasa hii connect kwa hii, ika connect kwa hii. So hii ina overlap, ina connect kwa hii, alafu hii inarudi kwa hii nyingine, unaelewa?
Na yote ni kazi ya baba.
Kazi ya Mungu. So what happens is hizo zote wanasema now the brain is one. Then the other thing which is very complicated ni universe. Because universe unakuta kuna sun, kuna star.
Yes.
Star ndio the big boy. And you know stars ziko na stars zenye ziliformiwa the same time zinaitwa galaxies.
Yes.
Now in one galaxy there is over 1 billion stars. Unaona kila kitu inakuja to 1 billion. Yes. Then each galaxy, I mean na kuna over 1 billion galaxies, and they are all connected. So kama you are seeing the yes, that is now the universe.
Yes.
Kuna na kila star iko na planets, kila planet iko na moons.
Yes.
So it's a very complicated thing. Wezi jua pia vile zina nini kutoka kwa star moja kwenda kwa nyingine ni millions of years. Alafu then wanasema pia the most other complicated thing in the universe ni nyuki. Bees.
Hii tu ya sad.
Yes. Wanasema if all the bees were eliminated from the face of the earth, it will take very few years for life to exist on this planet.
You mean that we rely on the bees this much?
Because wanasema kwa chakula yako, wakati umewekewa chakula kwa meza, 3/4 ya hiyo chakula imetoka kwa nyuki. Najua nyuki ndio the male, ndio inafanya fertilization ya nini? Nikitumia lugha ile nini sasa yenye mtu ataelewa, ndio ina fertilize crops. Wakati unaona inaenda ikitafuta ile uninio pollen ya kutengeneza asali, ndio ina pollinate. That now hiyo ndio lugha ya miti.
Yes.
Ni kama fertilization. Now ya miti inaitwa pollination. Ndio ina pollinate the flowers. So without bees, yes, without the bees, chakula inakosa. Chakula itakosa. Watu watakufa.
Now bring us to the what you're saying is complicated.
Now the complexity ya mind ni kwamba
not the mind,
the nyuki. Sasa you see nyuki, for example, tuseme ziko mahali na zinataka kuhama.
Yes.
Uanga zinahama aje?
Sijajua.
Huwa kunazo zinaenda zinatafuta mahali ya kuishi, zinarudi tena kwa ile swarm.
Yes.
Zina communicate, zinaongea, then they start moving. And as they move, again they make a very funny movement. Zinakaa zikimove kama brains tu, ama universe. Zinakaa zinaendanga ina zigzag way, azieleweki, na zinaenda zinafika pale zinaenda.
If you're watching us, we know you guys are watching us live on Facebook. Comment there. Tell us what do you think about what Sanjoji says. He is really oozing wisdom.
We are also live on Facebook and YouTube.
We are also live on YouTube. Make sure you also get to YouTube, subscribe to our channel. You will find us there. This, of course, is the Katikati Show. And today, we are indulging more into the brain. And Sanjoji is telling us, aside from the brain, the universe
very complex.
Alafu ile menishika kabisa ni ya nyuki. Kama nyuki pia is very complex, and we really depend na nyuki in the existence of the world. You say that if they are taken out of existence, itachukua
very few years for life to be here on earth.
Mambo inaisha.
Yes.
Dunia inaisha.
Yes.
Sajojis, turudi pale kwa akili. Kwa sababu watu wengi wanashangaa akili. And like I was telling you, I was in church on Sunday. Unajua njia kujua kwa nini nilikuwa nakushika pale kanisani, kwa sababu ndio jana kanisani, kwa sababu hauna neno ya sasa watu walienda kanisani watoe neno. Sasa Sunday tulifundishwa kitu inaitwa passing power. Passing power is a different kind of power, because it's telling us kuna power ya pesa, kuna power ya authority, ya nini, lakini hakuna power ambayo inashinda passing power, which is now ambayo inakuja na spirituality na mind power. Right? That you can, like nimekwambia kama vile William Samoei Ruto, yani you can say that, you know, me Eltezi, I'm going to be this and I'm going to achieve that. You know? How does this go around or come around with all what you've explained to us, the neurons, nini, pale.
Now, what happens is our minds can go to sleep, and our minds can be active, depending on how we exercise them. In fact, the difference between a poor person and a rich person is the ability to utilize the brains, is the ability to utilize their mind.
Yes.
So our mindsets, the way we have set our minds, either our mind can tell us we are weak, or our mind can tell us we are strong. Our mind will always direct us to areas that we have been oriented on. For example, let's take somebody like David. We are told David killed Goliath when he was very young, a small boy. And when all the Israelites were fearing Goliath, David came and confronted the guy. Now, this is what is called the power of mind. David stayed in the wilderness for all his life. He was a young boy. And so during that time, we are told he used to have fights with lions and bears. And he used to kill them. So this boy had never known that somebody can be killed. He only knew that people people kill.
Yes.
So when he comes over and finds this guy called Goliath
Yes.
challenging the army of God, he wonders what's wrong with this, because he has never seen somebody die. He's never experienced. So our mind tends to behave in a way, tend to be challenged by situations we already know. You know, if you've seen somebody suffer cancer and die,
Yes.
then if you hear somebody is suffered from cancer, then you're suffering from cancer.
Yes.
The probability is you die very fast. In fact, very few doctors will overcome cancer because they already know that cancer is dangerous. So
what I'm
anytime they have a challenge with a serious disease, and doctors will always diagnose themselves with very serious diseases because they know the science. But a layman like me or like you, we may live with cancer for so many years because
Yes.
our mind is not informed. So information, when we have a lot of information on a certain area, then we tend to have strength on that area, or it tends to challenge us on that area. So our minds react to situations depending on how we know them.
Our experiences.
Yes.
Kwa hivyo ile kitu nataka kuunderstand Sir Georges. Unasema kwamba kwa sababu there's someone else was telling me the other day, you know, watu wadosi wanakuanga wanajipatia magonjwa makubwa. And I had some time na mtu tajiri nikaona kweli ananiambia akona ugonjwa hii, akona ugonjwa kubwa hata nikimwangalia naona hala. Now that comes with what that guy has set in their mind.
Now you see
the
our
information
mind
that they have, because wako na hiyo access ya kujua kwamba kama mimi ni kitangu nikuwe mdogo, mimi sijui nimejua cancer nikiwa mkubwa. Tena nikikuja kwa paka kujua sijui cervical cancer nini kata ili kwa undani.
You see, when the opening of the Bible,
yes,
the very first words in the Bible brings us to the realization of the power of mind. Bible says, let us, and God said, let us create man in our own image and likeness.
Yes.
Let us create man. So
Yes.
this is now a thought in God's mind. It's a thought that comes to God, and He speaks the thought. He says, let us create man in our own image and likeness. And so He goes forth and starts creating.
Yes.
What does He use to create?
No.
His mind.
Oh, his mind.
And He speaks the mind, because our mouths are supposed to speak our minds. So most of the time, our strength and our weaknesses depend on what we speak, because what we speak is actually what is full in our hearts.
Yes. In our hearts or in our minds?
Now, you know, our heart,
Yes.
when we talk of the heart,
Yes.
it is the throne now of our consciousness. We don't speak of the heart as the one that pumps blood. When somebody says your heart, it means our mind, it means our thoughts, the throne where now all our consciousness exists.
Yes.
Yes.
That is now the heart.
That is the heart. It's actually, when we talk of the heart, we are talking of the brain. You're talking of the mind. The conscious decisions that
Yes.
we make, that is what is called the heart.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Sir Georges, you've really, guys at home, I hope you're really enjoying this conversation, because now you will be able to understand what you can achieve with just your mind. Just the power of the mind. And now you speak through your heart.
Now, let's, for example, say, for example, give me one company. Bidco.
Yes.
Now, Bidco was started by somebody from Nyeri.
Yes.
Yes. Now, he made a decision, a conscious decision to start this company, and he saw the vision and spoke the vision. He must have put it on a piece of paper,
yes,
so that everybody, and it may take another 200, 500 years, Bidco continuing to exist and to grow.
Yes.
So the most important thing in life is to make a decision, you know, from the mind,
yes,
and then put it on a piece of paper.
Yes.
So all our decisions in this life, what I said is, our strength, our ability to achieve,
yes,
is based on our mind. So if we have seen people being defeated through and through,
yes,
then we form a decision, or we form a character of defeat.
yes.
But also, we as human beings, because our minds are independent of one another,
yes,
it's just like I said, the universe, the sun,
yes,
the star. A star, why do we call people stars? It's because a star is a huge thing. It's the biggest thing in the universe. And so when somebody calls you a star, it means you are able to make decisions, you are able to stand on your own.
Yes.
So once you make a decision and stand on it, you passionately defend your vision,
Yes.
you passionately defend on what you want
Yes.
to achieve, then it will always be successful.
Yes.
So our minds are our weapons.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Sir Georges, this means that whatever you feed your mind, unachokilisha,
Yes.
really matters.
Very much.
Really matters.
Yes.
Inamaanisha kwamba if you're those guys who are watching a comedy 24 hours,
They become comic.
You know, I used to have a friend of mine who has really made it in life right now. According to what I see, I don't know more, but according to my eyes, yes, and my mind, ni jamaa ambaye naona kidogo amekuwa stable. And he used to tell us when we were growing up, wacheni kucheka. Because ukicheka hiyo kicheko inaingia kwa kilia.
Yeah.
Unakuwa sawa. Unaona hivyo. So now this means that people out there should be really conscious with what they feed in. Because I was hearing even now in regards to TikTok, nasikia wanasema kwamba in Kenya, a lot of what people are watching content pale TikTok wapi pale is vitu tu. But in other countries that are very serious, unapata mtoto mdogo, mtoto ko class 2, which now I think CBC is going to try and itulete karibu. Mtoto kama pale China, these kids are young and they're making phones, designing, doing great things and they're young. They're being trained. Their mind is being trained to be.
You see, if you are a joker, if you set your mind to jokes,
yes,
then you become a joker, isn't it? All your life it's full of jokes. You see, life is about taking time and thinking, because your brains can be asleep if you keep them to sleep. They can be active if you activate them.
Yes.
And there is nothing that we cannot do with our brains. Nothing. There is nothing you cannot do.
Yes.
Now, some guys will try a business, the business succeeds, and when it collapses, they kill themselves because they are seeing no future. Now, our future is in our minds. Everything in life is here in our brains.
Yes.
And if, for example, you tend to imagine that the only person who is hardworking is your father, so you will always be waiting for your father to die so that you can inherit what he has.
Yes.
But if you ignore your father's property and know that you are greater than your father,
yes,
then you tend to create more wealth. Yes. And you can look, for example, somebody comes from abroad, comes to Kenya, where we think there is no wealth. Most people right now are running away from Kenya.
Yes.
But there are also those who are coming to Kenya.
Yeah.
Coming to Kenya. For example, if you look at this, if you go to all the barber shops in Kenya,
yes,
who is doing the barbering? Who is doing the barber business?
yes,
They are people from DRC.
yeah,
Isn't it?
And
And here we are saying there is no job.
no jobs.
And those guys are very passionate about their job.
Yeah.
And once you set your mind that my only business I can do is being a barber, then you die like that.
You just die like a barber.
Yes, you'll always do that.
Yes.
But what if you set your mind and say, now I want to start this one in the next, because life is about planning.
Yes.
Because our brains are activated by plans. If you can sit down and put it on a piece of paper, then your brain starts digesting, trying to see how am I going to achieve this.
Yes.
We are creation of our brains.
Yes.
And if your brain is asleep, somebody else's brain will make you work, give you food, isn't it?
Yes.
So, so we are actually a creation of our environment.
Now, Sir Georges, before even we continue, you've really touched me, because there's someone who yesterday really impressed me. He has come from Russia, and he went to Great Wall.
Yes.
Great Wall, Pale Kitengela, Pale at the river.
At the river,
Yeah, those so many houses. So this guy is doing advertisements on YouTube, and he's telling people back in Europe, he's telling them, you guys, do you know what? If you take that money from your banks there, because inasikia interest ni kidogo sana, and do you know if you come and buy this one block, it is costing this much, and if you put people to live in these houses for 20,000 within this period, your money will acquire more interest than what you're doing in the banks. Yani jamaa ametoka is white. He's from Russia. He's a Russian. He's here in Kenya speaking Russian, telling his Russian friends speaking money in Kenya to give him to invest.
To give him, you see, to give him, isn't it?
Yes.
To give him, not to come to invest, but to give him.
Yes.
And you try to convince everybody in Russia that you cannot make it without me.
Yes. And you can make it in Kenya more than you make it there.
You can make it more in Kenya more than you make it in Russia through me. You get?
Yes.
So this guy is creating, it's trying to make it's putting his mind into use.
Yes.
So so our minds are in such a way that we are supposed to activate our minds. Most of our Kenyans' minds are asleep.
Yes.
Completely asleep.
Now, Sir Georges, when we are there, because you've spoken about your mind being asleep and your mind being active. Someone at home is probably wondering, how do I activate my mind? You know, there's someone who's ako kwa nyumba sahi amekaa watching us on Facebook ama YouTube and is wondering to themselves, sasa hii akili yangu inakaa ni kemelala. What are the steps?
Now, normally, yesterday, in fact, it was yesterday, I was talking to some ladies. We were youth in church together in Nanyuki. And we met in town and we were talking, and one of them was telling me, you know, I have some money, but I have tried to see what I can do with this money. I cannot make it. Now watoto wamekula yote. I had some money. Then the other one was saying, I have ideas, but I don't have capital. Now, our minds, as I said, our minds create. Just like God created the universe through His word, from His mind to His. Now, look, for example, there is somebody called Job. Job, you know, the rich man in the Bible. Now, Job and sons and daughters, and anytime they would go to have a party, Job would go and offer to God, because he thought that his children sinned against God, and he said, who knows but that God is going to destroy my kids. Now, eventually, his kids were destroyed. Why? Because he created death for his kids. Yes, destruction for his kids through his mind and through his words. So what happens is, whatever we imagine, whatever we think, God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above that. We are able to create bigger things through our brains, through thinking and through speaking. Now, if, for example, you want to activate your mind, and you have an idea, how do you activate your mind? You need to have ideas. And ideas, you should not copy. In Kenya, we copy and paste. If today, if you go to most towns, you'll find made in China, made in China, made in China. And most of us are going to China. Instead of thinking, going to China to study what they are doing so that you can come and set your factory in Kenya, we are going to China to buy things. So we are a country of
true story.
Buying things. But you can also go, and because we have money. By the way, Kenyans, we have a lot of money. In China, 20,000 salary is a lot of money. A lot of money. They earn very little money. So you can go to China and get the brains, because I see people come to steal my workers sometimes. Why are we not stealing workers from China who have the brains to come and set factories here in Kenya? So that because we have the money. Now, most of the politicians, they have the minds of stealing. You see, in Kenya, mostly we believe we cannot be rich until we steal. So that is a mindset. That is. So what do people do? They go and steal from the public. And what they do, they take that money, go store it in
foreign banks, foreign accounts.
It's called what?
Dubai.
Like the other day, I saw one politician saying Murkomen went and stole money. It's in the accounting. You see. So why do we do that? Why do we have to do that? eventually what these countries do, they put restriction on you not to go to their country so that they have your money. So instead of doing that, why don't we start activating our mind? Because once you have an idea, you have just an idea.
Yes.
That idea should be put into paper.
Yes.
Put it on the paper. And let me tell you, you don't need money. For sure. You
Yes.
don't need capital to start a good idea.
Yes.
To make it into action.
Yes.
To activate it. All what you need to do is to start speaking about it.
Yes.
When you speak, somebody will buy the idea and will invest in that idea.
Yes.
There are so many people with money and they don't know.
They don't have anywhere to invest.
They don't have any idea on how to invest. Some
Yes.
of them have inherited from their parents.
Yes.
They don't have any idea on how to do it. So why don't you pump your idea? Like that guy in... very soon you'll see him very rich.
Yes.
The Russian.
The Russian guy.
Yes. So we need to put our idea into a paper and start selling the idea. You can sell the idea other than selling the goods.
Yes.
Sell the idea so that you can produce the goods.
Yes.
Yes.
And Sir Georges, now that we are in activating our mind,
Yes.
how about what comes in? Does it inachangia?
Of course.
Going to reading a lot, going to studying a lot, watching a lot of movies, listening to a lot of positive vibrations.
No, I don't think. Sometimes we tend to deactivate our minds through listening to, because you are special. You are a special creature.
Yes.
You're unique. You see, like for example, those guys who discovered the theory that we used in mathematics.
Yes.
If they were listening to their peer group, their contemporaries,
yes,
they may not have come up with idea. But what they used to do, they would listen to ideas to criticize. You need to be critiquing your ideas of other people.
Yes.
You don't fall in love with them. The moment you fall in love with somebody's idea, you are married to that person.
Na ndivyo nakumeenda. So you kusoma tu ni kuchangia, but not necessarily activating.
No, it's not activating. Activating is you are unique. God has, you are wired different from me. And that's why today in this show, I can tell you for free,
yes,
I cannot be able to direct this show.
Yes.
Yes. If you are not in, I will not even bother.
Thank you. So, Sir Georges, now, well, you've told us that everyone is unique, and activating your mind. Umesema vizuri sana. Guys, I hope at home you understand what Sir Georges is telling us. Activating your mind is coming up with ideas, unique ideas.
Yes.
The way, God amekupatia. Now, before we go even further, we have visions and dreams. In fact, let's start with dreams.
Yes.
They also happen in our okay, tuambie tu, where do you think dreams inatoka na zinaenda wapi?
What they say is that dreams it's like whatever you see now when you read a lot.
Yes.
When people speak to you a lot, you can visualize, you can start dreaming on what they have said, they have given you.
Yes.
So it's like things that you have seen. But visions are new things that come in your life. It's like you focusing on something, you are activating your mind. So visions come through activation.
Yes.
You have a vision, you say, this is what I want, this is where I want to be. And that is what most of us lack. Like today, if you ask me where I will be in July, I will tell you, this is where I want to be. And then if I have set my goal that in July, I want to buy I want to buy a plane,
yes,
an airplane,
yes,
in July. So that gives me a challenge because in July, I will start telling everybody, in July, I have to have a,
yes.
So that gives me a challenge. And I have to now try and work very hard and try and have good connections.
Yes.
Because as I work hard, I also need to know where are these airplanes bought.
Yes.
Who manufactures?
Yes.
Who is the best manufacturer?
Yes.
So I will start interacting with people
who have the know-how,
who are pilots. Yeah?
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say is how you activate your mind is you make sure that you have a vision. You have
Yes.
an idea of where you want to be. You have an idea of what you want to produce. Yeah?
Yes.
And then once you have that, then you need now to push, to try and push.
Yes.
Yes. You know, an idea,
No,
a vision it's like pregnancy. Yeah? It's like pregnancy.
Yes.
You have to protect the pregnancy. And that is where we miss.
Yes.
Most of us will come on that the 1st of December and start saying, I want to have a vision. These are my vision for the new year. These are the resolution for the new year. And by 2nd of February, you are forgotten.
Shatu parada.
Yes. So we need that persistency.
Yes.
You know, we need to have.
And I think that's why you're saying we should write them down.
Yes.
Not them down, our visions.
Yes.
Sir Georges, kuna mtu anashangaa anasema okay, Sir Georges is speaking a very good thing, but how about people who are wanazaliwa na akili kidogo? Can that happen?
Let me tell you.
Unapata mtu unasikia yani kwanza unaambia mtu jamaa akiwa kwanza class 1 alikuwa anavuta mkia. Alikuwa anashikilia mkia. Unapata yani mtu mwenye unapata yani, let me say what is called IQ. Unasikia huyu jamaa ako na IQ kidogo, mwingine ako na IQ. Now someone like that is wondering, now Sir Georges is telling me all these things. How am I supposed to, you know, na nimezaliwa na IQ iko dogo?
You see, we are limited. I said we are limited by our environment. Now, I don't know who said that I need to pass my exam to be a genius. Who said that?
To kupata kazi.
You were just cheated.
Yes.
The other day I told you there are things that I always tell my pastor, you lied to me about this.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And there are things that also I think we were lied by our teachers. There are also, you see, there are those geniuses who are academic geniuses. But there are those also I would call practical geniuses. Practical.
Yes.
So that this person was always last in class, but now he's top in business.
Yes.
Top notch.
Practical. Yes.
Yes. So if you are not good in books, you can be good in drawing.
Yes.
You can be good in making furnitures.
Yes.
You can be good in, you understand?
Yes.
So you need to know your strength.
Yes.
And your strength is your weapon.
Yes.
Yeah. Where are you strong?
So Sir Georges is saying IQ does not matter.
What is IQ? These are lies from the West.
Yes.
Lies from the West. Because they measure IQ with books, with what they have written down. A brilliant person does not need to go your direction.
Yes.
And that's why I said, why today we are not producing guys who have theory.
Yes.
It's because guys are reading other people and falling in love with them.
Yes.
You don't fall in love with your mentor.
Yes.
No. Your mentor is supposed to direct you, and then you try criticizing what he is. Because we are lacking critics.
Yes.
People can criticize your ideas.
Yes.
Yes.
People just follow.
They just fall in love.
Follow. Sir Georges, this is a very good engaging discussion on the mind. And someone will ask themselves, now sasa Sir Georges anatuambia vizuri sana, activate your mind, do this. What if I'm really trying to activate my mind? Na sioni njia. And aside even before you even get there, does your mind have to do anything with, because I was speaking about tacit power. Your mind power. No vitu zikuja zifusion. Is there any spirituality? Because kuna mtu mtani anashangaa nimekuwa niko na mind yangu iko lakini haifanyi vile nafaa kufanya. So does spirituality come in? Can you support your mind na hali ya kianga?
You see the people lie to one another. You see, you are a God. Eltes is a God.
Yes.
Because you are created in the image and likeness of God. So we need to know that we are powerful.
Yes.
When you stand like this, you know that there is nobody greater than you.
Yes.
Nobody. Your father is not greater than you.
Yes.
Your mother is not greater than you.
Yes.
You are greater than them because you carry both their genes, isn't it?
Yes.
So why do you depend on your father? You are 18, you are 20, you're still depending on your father. So sometimes it's good to go out, and so there is no power greater than you. No power.
No power.
No power.
Yes.
No principalities
Yes.
greater than you.
Yes.
You know, that's why Bible says we confound every word raised against you in judgment.
Yes.
No. So there is nothing that is greater than you. God, we are in the same level. We are actually gods.
Yes.
And Bible says, behold, what manner of love that the Father has given unto us, that we be called his children, and indeed we are.
Yes.
So we are the children of God. As children of God, we need to know we are in the same level with God.
Yes.
We can do all what God can do. Whatever
Imani.
Ati?
Ni imani tu kidogo.
Sio imani, ni kufanya bwana.
Kutenda.
Kutenda. You just believe in yourself. Believe that you can achieve. If you do you know, if man decided to fly, he can fly with our hands like this. But because we have been used to not flying,
yes,
we cannot fly.
Yes. Hatujaona mtu akifly. Tukiona mtu fly.
Yes. And let me tell you, unaona
yes.
Unaona what really you see, in the Bible there is something that is written that Jesus walked in water, and we call it a miracle.
Yes.
But you see people swim. Swimming is like walking in water, isn't it?
Yes.
If you can swim on your belly. You can also swim on your toes.
Yes.
But because there is nobody who has ever tried it, nobody. That is why we don't swim on our toes. You can swim standing. If today we started practicing that. No, let me tell you. There is one guy called Kipchoge. He came and said, no human is limited.
Yes.
Its world record took very short duration. It was broken by Kiptum.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he died yesterday.
Yes.
So why do you think Kiptum broke his record? Because he told us no human is limited.
Yes.
Yes. But if he came and said, my record, nobody can break it. People's mind would have been tilted towards that this is a super genius.
Yes.
He's a superhuman.
Yes.
You know. But he said no human is limited. All of us are wired to achieve greater than we can achieve.
Yes.
And that's why the record took very few days.
Yes.
And let me tell you, because now people in Kenya knows breaking record is normal, we'll go below 1 hour. 1 hour 1 hour is 50 minutes. 50 minutes. Very soon.
Yes.
We'll do that.
Sir Georges, I was listening to one comedian again. He's called Chris Rock. He was saying that many of us parents tell our children they are special. Akitoka, you are special. You know, the world is under your feet. Everything. Lakini alikuwa anatuambia, he thinks we should go like, no one loves you in this world. You are alone. Go and fight. Yani usipatie mtoto kwa kumwambia is special. Like ifika kunje, anasema that one inafanya mtoto akifika kunje na yeye ni special. So it's not even working hard because they think, I'm special. I'm the one is under my feet. So you're saying, why don't you tell your children? No one in this world loves you. The world is full of this. Make sure that when you go out there, you rise to the occasion. Everyone is trying to take your position. What do you think?
That's a good one. But you see what you are creating from that child is a monster. Somebody who believes the world, there is no love in the world.
Yes.
Somebody who believes that you can never trust anybody.
Yes.
So people are good people, human beings. Do you know why we don't achieve a lot in Kenya?
Yes.
Because we don't trust one another. We don't trust people.
Yes.
Now, look, for example, we have somebody called Aga Khan.
Yes.
Yes. Big businesses in Kenya.
Yes.
It really comes in Kenya.
Yes.
So,
who
runs his businesses?
Aga Khan.
Great people, great achievers in this life, trust people. So it's good to trust people and know that people can be trusted.
True.
Because we are not beasts. We are human beings. And if you cannot trust me, you cannot trust yourself.
Yes. Nilipoona Aga Khan alikuwa na maneno mingi sana. Lakini nafikiri tutakuja tuongelele siku nyingine. So now Sir Georges, the mind is very powerful. And what you feed it.
What you feed,
unaweza pia kuwa fed, like in terms of like what you said about a kid, the kids who are told kuanzia mtoto there's something that has been going on, unapata we are told that unapata mzazi anaambia mtoto kila wakati you know you are stupid, you are stupid, you are stupid, you are stupid. Does that affect the mind of the kid?
Now, because again we are special people,
Yes,
there are those who will be affected, and there are those who are going to be created to be greater people by those words. Because if your father calls you stupid all the time, there are those who want to prove that I'm not stupid as you think.
Yes.
And they will be very great people.
Yes.
But there are also those who will fall in love with what the father is saying.
Yes.
And so if my father says I'm stupid, I am stupid, I'm a fool. So the child will take a rest.
Yes. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that was a very healthy discussion. And as you've heard it from Sir Georges, what he's saying, guys, you need to utilize your mind, you know? You need to activate your mind. Don't just sit there, don't just sleep. Make sure that everything you want to achieve, the visions that you have, you go and put them into action. Use your mind, you know? You have a lot of power in your mind that if you use it well, I'm telling you, the likes of Akina Elon Musk and Akina Zuckerberg and all of those guys will be nothing compared to you. So today, this beautiful Tuesday morning, make sure Tuesday morning.
Yes, it's
this beautiful Tuesday morning. Make sure that you utilize your mind and make sure that you know.
Now you see, most people think that money came first.
Yes.
But it's not true. Your brains got awake first.
Yes.
You had a vision. You follow that vision to fruition, and then money comes.
Yes.
Yes.
Now that is the formula. Brains first, visions.
Yes.
Then money.
Money.
Not
money.
Then they start looking at the limitations first.
Yes.
And which is a big problem with the sana vijana. Vijana wengi sana wanaangalia limitations. You find that someone wants to start a business but anaangalia. There was a day I was with a friend of mine called Young Munini, and he actually told me how you can actually start a business with Hustler Fund. As much as people are seeing that you can't do anything with Hustler Fund. You're telling me, no man, you can't get hata hiyo 600 ya Hustler Fund. Unaweza buy mayai na kachumbari na upige mbizi. Si lazima ukwe na hapo unawekale kadogo. Kaseme tikakweka
kakuosha mkono.
Yes. And you're good to go. After some time utakuwa kuna tree. After some time you'll employ many people. So yeah, I think ladies and gentlemen, youths out there at home, make sure that you use your mind like Sir Georges tell us, and also you know, care about what you're feeding your mind. Ile kitu unajaza kwa akili yako.
You see, time is very precious.
Yes.
Brain works with time. Our minds are set within time.
Yes.
And if you miss your timing, then you miss everything. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Katikati Show. This was me, Iltezi and Sir Georges. And even before we move out, nafikira tutaingia kwa matukio kidogo hapa kule. Tuangalie kile migona tendeka. I hope guys you've enjoyed our talk on the brain. We are going to discuss this more, and don't forget that if you want to converse with us or engage with us, just comment down there and we will reach out. Of course you will be able to reach Sir Georges on his Facebook page, that is Sir Georges or me, Mr. Riebebe, because you might be wondering, okay, now we've started this discussion and you want to probably know more. So reach out to Sir Georges on Facebook or Mr. Riebebe, and we are gonna help you out to figure out more on what the power of your mind, kwa sababu akishika kujitoa kwa tatizo la akili, basi itabidi sisi tumsaidie kwa sababu sisi tuko na akili kubwa.
Wacha nikwambie, listen, if somebody can bring a good proposal, a good proposal, ya atupatie hapa katikati, good proposal, we are going to finance this idea to the tune of 20,000 Kenyan shillings.
Yes. Well, you've heard it right from
when you bring a good proposal.
Have a good proposal. If you're a youth out there, and you have a good proposal, Sir Georges has said it right here on a Katikati Show that tutapata, finance hiyo nini yako hiyo vision yako.
Yes.
Kama ni maridadi.
Yes.
Kama imefikiriwa vizuri. Not just copy pasting.
Not copy pasting.
Kitu
origi.
I'm telling you, Sir George, there's a problem nowadays, big problem. You know, when someone said that AI inaweza kuleta shida, I didn't, assume the kind of problem it will bring. Lakini mkuja kurealize kuna sasa copy pasting imezidi. Kia unakwambia AI paka CV.
Hata afikiri.
Write for me a CV. Na la copy analeta.
That's a problem. That make you
too much.
Exercise the power of your mind.
How do you go and ask AI, please write for me a business plan for a shop? Itakuandikia, but you have not thought about it. So definitely utakuja kushtuka kwanza.
Tutakuulizia maswali hapa katikati. Tutakuweka katikati kwanza before we give you what
Sir George, yesterday on Sunday night, Kenya really went through, we suffered a tragic loss. One Kiptum, Kelvin Kiptum, just at the age of 24 years old. A young man who had a great future in front of him. Nimeona watu wakisema kwamba he had like, sikuwa najua kumbe runners go up to even 40 years na mbele wakimbia. So guys are saying he had a bright future. Sir George's age 24, kijana mdogo huyu. Chameni, what do you think? According to, what's your take? Because kuna watu pale nje wanasema kwamba Eliud Kipchoge hakumcongratulate, wengine wanasema babake mwenyewe ametoka pale kusema kwamba kuna watu walitembelea pale kwao siku 4 kabla hiyo akichunguza. Kuna watu wanasema kwamba sijui kuna mambo yatalai, but what do you think? Because according to me, my first thinking is that car must have been at a very high speed.
You see what happens in Africa. Africa. People don't die in Africa. You are aware of that?
People don't die in Africa.
They don't die.
Where do they die?
Even at 100 years, you'll find somebody saying, mama yangu alilogwa. Mama yangu daktari hakumtekia care.
Yes.
So people don't die in Africa.
Yes.
What happens is people are killed. Either by a doctor, they are killed by witchcraft. So many things. Now, you see, roads these days are taking a lot of lives. And I think we need to understand when you're driving. I'm a driver, and when you're on the road, you find people are overspeeding, people are drinking and driving, and I think that is what is killing us.
Yes.
And we need also to understand that there is no way somebody will bewitch you. Bewitch you for what? I mean, you have the power to speak against being bewitched, isn't it?
Yes.
So I think this was unfortunate because that was an accident. And an accident is an accident. Nobody was out there to see what happened. I think maybe they were driving on a high speed.
Because, ile gari ni bondeka.
It must be in a very high speed.
Yes.
And that is, these people are like committing suicide because of the kind of speed we are driving our cars on. Yes.
So guys, be really cautious how you're driving your car, so that at least we don't lose, our youth like this. Someone who had a great future. Sir Georges.
But all said and done, this guy achieved.
Yes.
He has finished his race, This is a race
that's it,
there are those who are born,
yes,
they die the following day. There are those who live 20 years, there are those who live 24 years like him.
Yes.
There are those who live 100 years like me.
Yes.
Who knows?
Sir Georges, on Sunday we witnessed the end of the AFCON, the final game, AFCON. Ivory Coast walifanya mambo.
Yes.
Na Lima, I saw Didier Drogba. The Didier Drogba jamaa kichwa. Alikuwa anachezea Chelsea.
Yeah.
Used to score some really good goals. And what's your overall take on the organization of AFCON? How it came to be. What do you think?
I think it was hosted by one country.
Yes.
And it was wonderful.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful.
We didn't hear
and
of a lot of
we have a lot of potential in Africa.
Yes.
Lot of potential. If Ivory Coast has put their feet on the ground, they hosted it alone. You can see their players are playing everywhere in the world.
Yes.
Meaning they are very good structures. Unlike in Kenya,
yes,
where Ababu na Mwamba is meandering all over.
Yes.
We need people who can have a vision on how to create, because since this government came, it came on a lot of promises.
Yes.
But we have not seen them roll out the infrastructure. We have not seen them roll out the programs on the ground.
Yes.
And I think we are still very far from achieving anything, because like in athletics, you see athletics and football is different.
Yes.
Athletics, it's not the government that is making Kenyans shine in athletics.
Yes.
This is a field that does not require a lot of infrastructure. So Kenyans, if you go to Eldoret, you go to Nyahururu, you find Kenyans are doing practice as early as 5 in the evening. So this is a road, and that's why we are very good in marathon, because we do it on the roads.
Yes.
But when it comes to sprint, for example,
yes,
we are very poor in that, because it requires infrastructure.
Yes.
And that is where our government is failing us.
Now that you've said that, we know that AFCON is supposed to be in East Africa.
Yes.
This time. Do you think we're going to pull up the capacity by then? And maybe what your suggestions? Maybe you can go into depth.
I think it will be okay, because we are sharing it with 3 countries.
Yes.
So because we don't have the infrastructures. Tanzania maybe has better infrastructures than Kenya. Uganda, no infrastructure. Kenya, no infrastructure. So that's why we are sharing, so that Uganda can produce 3 stadiums, Kenya 2, Tanzania 1 or 3.
Yes.
So, but I think it will be a good. But now, even our teams are not. We'll start preparing Harambee Stars 1 year to the tutalimwa tu. We should have started like yesterday.
So Judges, there's a story that really touched my heart and really moved Kenyans into tears about baby Liam, because this is ni story nilikuwa nimeona katika mtandao. I saw the same situation that happened in America, and this time the teacher was getting sentenced because the case had happened for about 4 years, whereby unapata wanafunzi, these are buses za shule, unapata wanafunzi ametoka kama ya Amerikani, the child stepped out of the bus, but the driver did not look to see if the child had moved away from the bus. So the child's clothes got stuck kwa mlango ya basi. So the bus driver kept on moving. God was with the child. Mtoto akaanza kukimbia. Mtoto mdogo
anakimbia at the same speed with the bus.
Really running. Anakimbia. Mtu basi yako pale tu dereva. Anaendelea kutembea. Ikafika mahali mtoto akachoka. Sasa akaanza kuvurutwa chini. Luckily, mtu gari lingine akaona shida gani? Na akapiga hodi. Ndio wale kuangalia wanaona mtoto pale. Sasa anaanza kuvurutwa.
The baby survived. Wow, that's a miracle.
With a lot of akona bruises. But walipeleka kotini after hiyo akapeleka na, and that the teacher was being sentenced. Those kuangalia sentencing yake. But what happened now, that is America. Kenya, it happened huku tu at River, whereby the kid got out of the bus. Na mtoto unaona basi ya shule. Mtoto sijui ule nani alifikiria ate, but mtoto alikuwa amekaa pale kwa kiti ya kuangalia co-driver. And I think that one is meant for the teachers, right? Lakini mtoto alikuwa amekaa hapo. So mtoto akafungua mlango. Kwa sababu kulingana na mzazi wake, anasema yule mtoto alikuwa amepitishwa kwao. Akapelekwa mbele zaidi. So mtoto kuona mbona nimpisha kwetu, akafungua mlango, akatoka. Kutoka akaanguka, dereva akamkanyaga. Na akafariki, akaaga dunia. Rest in peace, baby Liam, and of course our condolences at Katikati Show are with you, our thoughts are also with you. Na Mungu awarehemu. Now what do you think? Why is this happening? Ni madereva wa shule wamekuwa wazembe, ama ni vipi, ama ni mwalimu yule ambaye anafaa kuangalia mtoto?
I think sometimes we blame the wrong person because the driver is a driver.
Yes.
He's supposed to sit on the wheel, isn't it?
Yes.
So the problem would be
should worry about the passenger. I mean,
but you see, you cannot guard the kids and drive at the same time.
No, what I'm saying, Sir George, is before you drive, at least look.
Yeah, true.
Kwa sababu you're supposed to be a driver. Kama unawash hivi naona kulingana na mimi muonekano wangu, mtazamo wangu is that these drivers are in a rush to take these kids and go back to home. They are not focused. In fact, I'm not
but you see, they are sometimes they are overworked.
This man should be jailed.
No, sometimes no. I think if I were to judge, if I were a judge, I wouldn't jail the driver because the kids have their guardians. Every bus is supposed to have the handlers, the kid handlers.
Yes.
And they're supposed to plan on where each child will be dropped. It's not the work of the driver. It's the work. Because if you give the driver the business of dropping the kids, then who is going to guide the kids? And kids are kids. You see, like that one, maybe open the door. But why did they pass? You see, also these days, there are so many things that are happening. People have become crazy with monies. People have become so crazy with money so that some of them can even do some, sacrifices for the kid. So we don't know how, because why did they pass with the child where the child was supposed to be dropped, for example. So I don't know, but we also need to question the administration. Drivers are not supposed to be doing the business of handling kids in school. And, people... if you have decided to do a school, then you need to know how to handle the kids so that there is somebody who is handling the kids, there is a driver, there is the matrons for the kid who are handling the kids, there are teachers who are handling the kid, not the driver to handle. Because sometimes...
I really don't support you because in this situation, Sir Georges, you are the driver, right? You are not carrying cabbages.
No,
have you supposed to at least care? Angalia Sir Georges. Wewe ni driver. Kazi yako si tu kwenda.
I want you to take a scenario for a matatu. Take a matatu and compare it to a school bus. It's the same formula.
Yes.
How can a driver in a matatu be able to drop the passengers? You understand?
Yes.
How? And manage the passengers. So unless every stage the driver...
Sir Georges, mimi najua wewe ni bazoo. Kwa hivyo mara mingi hujapanda matatu. Lakini ukiangalia matatu mingi, unakwenda reserve. The driver is the conductor. Anachukua pesa, conductor anachukulia pesa pale kwa stage, anaacha mwende na driver. What am I saying, Sir Georges?
They are those express. They are express.
Carrying kids, bana.
But surely how can the driver check on whether the kids are getting... Let me tell you. Let me show you an example. One day we were traveling we were driving via Thika Road. And as we were moving, the matatus, the vehicles we have 4 lanes.
Yes.
So we realized that in one of the vehicles, there was a child who was moving the head completely out of the window.
Yes.
So we realized this child will be crushed by the vehicles because, the vehicles are very fast.
Yes.
So we tried to block the vehicle, tried to push the vehicle all the way up to you understand?
Yes.
I pushed the vehicle up to the edge of the road so that we could communicate to the parent, to the driver, that this child was removing the head. Close the doors, close the windows, rather. So you understand what I'm trying to say? You understand? Now let me show you. A bus carries over 70 kids.
Yes.
True?
Yes.
Now one driver is the one who is manning that vehicle. Now sometimes those vehicles don't have even the handbrake. So if the driver has to leave the vehicle, he has to get out, put a stone on you understand? Because some of these vehicles are so old.
Yes.
So we need to have the driver. The work of the driver is to drive. In fact, we should have rules that are governing the school buses so that the driver's work is to drive the vehicle. And the matron or the teachers are supposed to take care of the kids. It's not the work of the driver.
Well, Sir Georges is really trying to convince me here, but I'm not. I'm staying unconvinced.
We are going to get cash bill for the driver.
What I think, this guy, if you're a driver and you're watching you know, Katikati Show. I know you guys love Katikati Show. Hapa Katikati Show, mimi kama LTZ, msimamo wangu wa Mr. Rebebe, nasema hivi kwamba wewe kama driver, your job is not just to go. You should look. So don't just angalia. It doesn't cost
but you don't kill. You see, it's an accident. Number one, remember, it's an accident. This guy has not killed a child every day. He hasn't.
Yes.
So this was an accident.
Yes.
Because the child decided. So, for example, if I'm moving,
you're trying to.
If the driver is moving, how do you?
Kind of blame. Hakuna. Ladies and gentlemen, hiyo hata tuachie hapo kwa sababu hiyo ni kizungu mkuti. Sajojes, iko jamaa hapa anaitwa Kangethe. Umemsikia Kangethe? Kangethe is this guy who alikuwa anakaa Marekani na alipokuwa kule Marekani, he was coming back to Kenya. And right before he boarded the plane, he killed his girlfriend. Bibi yake, sijui ni bibi yake ama nani wake, lakini ni girlfriend ama bibi, one of the two, wako na relationship. After kumua akapanda ndege, akakuja Kenya. Kukuja Kenya, FBI wakamchunguza nini polisi nini, akashikwa. Akapelekwa kwenye kituo on Thursday. Yes. Mali sijui ni Muthaiga wapi huko. Baada kupelekwa pale nini, akatembelewa na wakili mmoja. Sijui kama umeona ile video. I've seen the video. I've seen what happened, what transpired. And Kangethe akatoweka. Kangethe kutoweka kwa sasa, the word is kuna ndugu yake ambaye alimsaidia, ambaye pia amepotea, na inasemekana wako area za Machakos. Na yule wakili ambaye alikuwa ameenda kumtembelea pia alishikwa. Na mawakili wenzake wakatoka. Wakakuja wakasema, no, this why is the lawyer being arrested? And she was arrested. Nobody knew she was arrested. Only yesterday we saw the CCTV. Because unajua tena zile CCTV ziko kwa police station. So we only saw the CCTV videos yesterday that she was actually arrested, which looks like an abduction. Akapotea, juzi ndo alikuwa ameachiliwa Sunday. Alikuwa anakuwa process. I don't know kama ameachiliwa, but we start with the lawyer. And how it was handled. Do you think that how the police handled it, kuchukua huyo wakili la kumpeleka chini ya maji wamtoe juzi, do you think it's the best way to do things?
I think the police should not arrest somebody without informing the public or informing that person why you're being arrested. Let the world know you're being, because police are not killers. It's not a hit squad. So they should be able to tell everybody that we have, you know, there is always a government spokesman. They should be able to say, today we have arrested so and so is in this and this police station. Or if they think is a threat, then they may not be able to say where he is, but say we have so and so in our custody because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. I think it's very important so that we are not feeling like our dear ones have been abducted or they have been killed. You know.
And do you think that this lawyer might have something to do with the disappearance, because she walked in na muda si muda nyama akapotea? Wodi kama udada na kitu anajua.
But you see the problem with the police sometimes. They are failing their responsibilities and then they come to blame people.
Unajua kuna mtu alisema Tarikijia alipiga simu, lakini hiyo ni mambo ya mtandao.
You see if you fail in your responsibility, you should not blame people. Yes. So the police failed and this guy disappeared.
Kama nitokaje, lakini kama hiyo unaonaje? What's your msimu wako?
Walikula
kitu, si ndio? Because this gate alitoka tu na katembea.
Alikula.
Mbona mimi jambo moja nishashikwa nishinda kutoka?
Westo, si hata mimi nishawahi lala mara kadhaa na
si kutoka.
Unatoka unaenda, and then you see if you are not a criminal, hata uwezi toroka police by the way. Hata saa hii uniambie kama atapotea ujue it was a planned thing.
Already paka
kama atapotea
hajapatikana.
Hapo uwezi potelea polisi.
Lazima anaonekana Machakos, sio anaonekana wapi huko.
Huyo ataenda huko Somalia. Huyo
apotelee huko.
Wacha nikwambie, in this country uwezi potelea police, impossible.
They will find you.
Yes.
Upende
usipende. So ukisikia amepotea, kupotea kabisa, ujue ilipangwa na si mtu kidogo, ni mtu mkubwa.
Hatari sana.
kitu kubwa.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was our segment with Sir George hapa. What has been happening matukio hapa na kule. We also thank you for watching our full show. You can always find all our shows on Planet Gym YouTube channel, and also you can trace back our shows right here on Facebook and other social media handles. Definitely we are there as Planet Gym. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell, and do not forget that at Planet Gym, like Sir George has stated again on this show, if you have a very good idea, we are here to listen to it as a Katikati Show, and definitely we will know how to go about it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this beautiful Katikati Show extravaganza. Me, your main man, El Tezi, and sitting right next to me is the one and only
Sir Georges.
Yes,
Ole
Mukindis. Tunawapenda sana. This is Katikati Show on Planet G,
where everything is green.